Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are back again with SOCA or Die. We have the esteemed panel as well with Evo, Peter, and Aurelia. They need no introduction, but I'll do one for them anyway. We are on episode 8, and we are going to dive into SOCA Riddims. Favorite topic ever.
Ever.
So I don't know who's starting, but we going down this road. We hope not to, but we are only going to be honest.
Yes.
Nah, I only jotted down notes of like my favorites. I'm not even gonna discuss the ones I don't like, don't remember, don't know.
Yeah, because it's only the good ones that you really remember, and I think the good ones also have multiple songs on the rhythm, or else like when I say that, I mean sometimes the rhythm has like a flagship song, like a song that carries the rhythm, but if the others aren't weighty or they aren't as impactful, then you just know that song. You don't know
it's even a
rhythm, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think last season we spoke to, because we mentioned, and this is where the sort of idea for this episode came, because last season we spoke about the 4D rhythm and the epicness that it was in terms of every single song on the rhythm.
I'm telling you.
What could have been the flagship, could have carried the rhythm.
Perfect. To me, that's like the best of all time. I feel like
it had no slackers,
nobody. Yeah. Nobody phoned it in.
I want to start right away by disagreeing with that.
Really?
Dun, dun, dun.
Everybody
disagreeing. Who's like?
Because Peter know I go and talk about the Dougla Riddim. Peter know I go and talk about the Dougla Riddim.
I'm playing it right now. It played in the background right now.
I know Peter know I talk about that. So let me not talk about greatest rhythm of all time if you're not talking about the Dougla Riddim. And if you're not talking about the Dougla Riddim is, that's what with Maximus Devious, you know?
Okay, but 4D, I think 4D was
no, 4D was great. It had Cartel Swappy on it. It had Kess on it. It had all that.
Marshall was good on it.
Yeah, it had all that. But you see that Dougla Riddim though?
That Dougla Riddim had a whole lineup though. Singing Sandra was on that rhythm. Singing Sandra.
What's that?
What were the songs on the rhythm?
All right.
Humble, Maximus.
The Humble by
Maximus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was
Mother and My Wife, Bunchy Garland.
My wife, my life. If it is, then you cannot compromise. That's your life. The Singing Sandra as well. Singing Sandra was bad on it.
Which Singing Sandra?
Denise. I remember Denise. Hold on. You better hold on.
Okay.
My problem with the Dougla Riddim is this. The Dougla Riddim had many artists. They had many artists on it. And yes, a good majority of the artists on the rhythm had really good. They had good songs. I wouldn't say all. And also, I don't like a rhythm where, to me, I feel like all the songs on the Dougla Riddim also kind of just melded into one song.
Kind of like Karang Fiesta, the Fiesta rhythm.
Right. And so my problem, that is my problem with that. I respect the 4D rhythm in that everybody approached it differently. And each song with each approach was solid, excellent, felt like a standalone tune. Like you could almost that's not the point. So for me, I don't mind that it was only 4, because it was 4 that were done so well that you might forget each time you hear one of these songs, like you hear Stress Away, and then you're like, oh shit, Swappy song on this, and you could almost not choose, and you almost forget that they were all one rhythm.
I'm going to disagree to agree in terms of I see it the other way around. Like with the Dougla Riddim, it seemed to be, it's like a fashion show. So it seemed to be like, okay, we're viewing this project, but then it's kind of disparate. Like you remember the songs in isolation. You don't remember the songs as a collection of wonderfulness. Whereas with 4D rhythm, again, yes, they had their individual identity or their individual perspectives on the rhythm, but still it was the rhythm, and you can tell, oh yes, this is the unified. So it was like a collection, like a fashion collection.
Right. And so for me, that's what I like. That's what I'm trying to say.
And then you can identify that this piece goes with this piece, and then when it comes together, it's just like,
It was to me, it showed a versatility of the rhythm that people could have approached it from different angles, and everybody didn't feel the need to sound very similar or the same. Because to me, all those songs on the Dougla Riddim just kind of run on and feel like the same song. Like Saucy's hook felt like it could have been the hook of I mean, okay, Modern, my wife had a hook, but you know what I mean? I feel like they all just felt kind of the same.
And don't forget Benjai. On that rhythm too.
Benjai. I mean the girls is the boss. I mean the girls my name.
Whatever he say. I just say
KMC sticking.
Yeah, what about
KMC sticking?
Yeah. I remember, I recall.
All of those tunes too hard us. All the tunes on that.
No, I'm not saying it not. No, I'm just saying.
I get the uniqueness of the song aspect, but again, but we have to go with eras as well. When you hear a rhythm, that's like the Diwali rhythm on the first Diwali rhythm, not the second or third rhythm. So first Diwali rhythm, you can mix that from start to finish and would play like one continuous song. That's the way the buzz rhythm as well. That's the way rhythm is. When you think of a rhythm, it's about everybody rides the rhythm. But the 40 rhythm was everybody making good songs on a similar beat. But the beats themselves kind of change to fit the artists on
the 40. No, I don't think so.
The Swappy had a different kind of mix to the Cass and the Marshall.
Everybody get different things done to suit them for the 40, whereas the Dougla was different rhythm. All you jump on the rhythm and see what you could do on it. And
I disagree. I think with the 40, so I understand with you ride the rhythm and you're like again in the same context of a for want of a better word, like a freestyle or whatever, and you play a rhythm and everybody that kind of way. I understand that, and I understand the versatility and the utility of that. But in terms of even with 4D, I don't think so. I think it was the same. And like I said, I think as a project, it seemed like a project, like this is the question, go back and answer the question, right? And everybody answered the question.
And everybody wrote a beautiful creative writing piece.
Because it's the same thing like the old thing rhythm. The old thing rhythm, again, I love the old thing rhythm.
That's a great rhythm.
I need to refresh my memory a little bit.
And then everybody...
Carnival anymore. We down there.
What about that rhythm real hard?
What's that?
Yeah.
That rhythm has the pinnacle of second verse bungee god mode.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Old thing.
No, I'm talking about the new old thing rhythm. Old thing with Patrice and Marshall and Skinny is on that rhythm, and I think that's what 2019.
2019.
Yeah, and that's the same thing I was saying, where it's like a project again. Everybody take it differently. Patrice have that thing did good.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Okay. That's a
was this on Moto? Was this produced by Moto?
Yeah, it was.
He was on rhythm too.
Yeah.
And so everybody have a different style or different approach to it, but it was still
one woman.
Exactly, but still a cohesive kind of project at the same time.
Right.
I think that's how new rhythms are going. And I'm not saying all new good or bad, but I'm just saying the rhythms.
Oh, I was trying to figure out what I thought was the old thing is actually La Duma.
La Duma was before.
Yeah, so those older rhythms are everybody ride the beat, ting, 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 and we
so very similar. Yeah, it's like a verse. Everybody has a verse in the same song.
Yeah, and new ones because like 2AM Project Rhythm.
Those who made some mix on
Folklore rhythm too, yeah.
Folklore rhythm is a good example of the way people approach rhythms now, where it's like
a fantastic example of that. The Stag Riddims, all of them. The Stag Riddims, they approach each person who was lucky enough to be on the Stag Riddims. They approach differently, as opposed to the Dougla Riddim where they all just rode the wave of the rhythm. So and again, that's the thing with class rhythms now. Class would have done the 40 and class would have done the rhythms. So again, it's also the way and who produced them. And they produced it for that because now Class is a fantastic producer. So he didn't just make a rhythm and send it to people. People came to him and did songs on the rhythm with him. So they now get the guidance of the producer to tweak it for how you need it done now. It's not like just send you the rhythm and you sing on it as it would have been done in the past with the Dougla and those other rhythms. So I think it's just a era thing as well. Because like that's maybe Desperado as well.
By the bar rhythm.
Maybe.
By the bar.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's I think it is thing because that 2 a.m. Project Rhythm was good too because then you had Problem Child in the middle of something and then you had I Like It Like This.
Yes, that one was good.
Else. What was it? Shal or Shal on 2 a.m. Yeah.
I think one of the problems we have with rhythms now though is
2 a.m. rhythm now splinters on it.
Yeah, I think that's Shal.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yes.
Splinters didn't sound like Middle of Something or like was the next one? Kessan Patrice.
Yes, it's true.
And you were able to do something.
But does that lend for the strength of the rhythm?
But again, I think that is again what Kareem's saying. It is about production and how the songs are mixed and put together. Because the fact that we having difficulty identifying that these songs were on the same rhythm, even though they clearly were, would suggest that the way how they were mixed was slightly different, as opposed to the Dougla Riddim when everybody you get an instrumental and you do your thing. It come like you just went in Rhapsody and you went in the booth and you just went and do all the thing on this.
Exactly.
Yeah. But at the same time, I don't think it is such a reworking that it is not the same. I think what is different is the approach to it. So yes, you might have had that first, or that old school type of everybody ride the rhythm, everybody sitting down in the same room or whatever to cause that. But I think in this case, apart from minor mix mastering, whatever, I don't think that the rhythm has been so altered that it is indistinguishable. I think we just did not. Because when you play them, when you play them together, when you play the rhythm mix, right? Is the same rhythm? Like there is
it flows.
Yeah, there is no change.
Yeah, but the intro of Splinters is very different from the intro of the Kessan Patrice. And
no, it's
intro
the same. It's the same. He's just singing in a different phrasing.
We could settle this now and that share screen, right?
Exactly, have share screen. That's what we're looking now.
But I think Peter right. Right, we can settle this now.
Because I think these shall start with the acapella kind of.
Yeah.
But again, so starting acapella is me saying, you know what? Before the first couple of bars come in, or before the actual what we know is the verse, because as a musician, you hear the verse, right? So over the first couple of bars, before I even hear the verse or the intro, I am going to sing very staccato, party mash up again. Hey, and I'm gonna do that, but that is not the song changing. That is my approach is different from somebody who.
But the mix will be different.
Think of Splinters and Middle of Something.
Again, that means the beat wouldn't come in on 24 seconds.
Because imagine, I don't think it's a reworking.
I'm gonna go back to the 40 rhythm because I distinctly remember for Swappy's version in particular. There were drops in his verses to let his cartel flow come out, as opposed to the Marshall and the Kes.
But because
I can't. You'll have to run it.
Just not pulling up the 2 a.m. Project Rhythm. Hold on, I'm pulling up all three. I mean, there might be others, but I'm looking for the last one, which is we're looking for Patrice and Kes.
Right, and let's play just the intro. Just play the intros.
Why are we doing that? I want to ask something. When you have a rhythm where one of the standout songs in the rhythm so big, might be bigger than all the songs in all them other rhythms on them, but the rhythm itself would be considered a great rhythm because one of the songs are clearly better than the others.
I feel like no. For me, the marker, the indicator of a good rhythm is one where, to me, the rhythm will live on forever if all the songs or the majority of the songs are memorable. For me.
Which is what I was saying at the beginning, where if you have one song that is clearly a standout, whereas the others are slacking, then you just know that. You understand? Then that song.
The others slacking because they're slacking, or is it slacking because the first song's so big? Because I'll use the example of the 40-foot rhythm. The 40-foot rhythm is the one where Bungie Garden sings so and so on. So and so plays every set on all Bungie sets.
What are songs it had on that rhythm?
It have
It's a Maximus. It have a Omi Makano behind the track. Yeah, it have plenty good songs.
There were a few songs.
I vaguely remember Behind the Truck, but again, what happens is Bungie dominate that rhythm so much that it just becomes.
That it won out. That Bungie won and not the rhythm.
But that's one of Bungie's best songs.
Yeah.
So
that's okay.
Caliber, the artist of Bungie, and that is one of his best songs. Not drawing anything else after. Look here, who else?
So that's the point. To me, I think that's for me, that's what makes or breaks it. Because then the artist is what sold it, not the rhythm. The strength of the rhythm wasn't there. For me, Folklore was a good rhythm because there were a number of really good songs on the Folklore rhythm that were memorable. So the rhythm shined. The rhythm was a key instrument, and everybody was able to wield that tool.
For me, really, for the instrumental, the 40-foot was fantastic. It's just that when somebody just flatten it.
Right, and that's the thing. Like for me, I ain't saying that.
So here is. I don't know who you want to start with. We want to start with Shal.
No, leave Shal for last. Just play the intro.
Hey, party mash up again. Hey.
Turn it up, turn up the volume, because I feel like you should just find an instrumental alone of the rhythm, and then we could demonstrate how that could be done without a change, but play it like that.
That's what I was just doing with my voice, to sing the Shal on the same thing, because whereas Patrice and they come in later, Shal came in earlier. So listen.
Shal come in early.
Listen. Hey, that's when Shal starts. And then, sorry, just a thing where we have now.
That's all that happened.
That is all there is to it.
And he just approached it with a very different phrasing, and that changed the vibe of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Hey! Is loading. Apologies for the.
Again, a different approach, and so it feels different.
Nothing had changed. Nothing at all actually changed.
It's
just Shal coming with his KK wildness.
And that's the same for the 40, I would say. It was the same for the 40.
Let me see.
So
40.
Peter argues no, so let's hear the 40 and see.
I explicitly point to the verse, Swappy's verses in the 40.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna sing to you anytime you request. Play the pure rhythm. Let me see if I hear it. If we don't hear it, just play the 40 rhythm instrumental and let's sing it and see if we hear it.
You are assuming that there is an instrumental only version.
There is an instrumental. There is an instrumental.
Okay, I'm searching.
I'm searching too, because I think I actually have it.
You should have said this in advance, and I have it put.
I have it. It was good.
Yeah, I have it. Yeah. You should have probably said this earlier, and I would have queued it up, so that I wouldn't have to count on my thing. Hold on, let me share again.
A natural podcast.
How does Sophie start?
I have it already. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
What part? You want the whole thing?
Yeah, let me hear it.
From the top, I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Well, yeah.
And he said, his little, you're swappy. No, you're singing the wrong one. We're trying to determine whether
you were singing that. I was singing this and
yeah, but we can't
I'm strictly talking about the verse.
He's saying
his verse, not the intro, the verse.
Exactly. So go back and play.
2012 now, like 8 years ago now, and so much greatness now. Man's now looking to graduate UED. It's so simple, eh?
Exactly.
Something in a 40. I'm not hearing anything different.
Well, you have to hear the song, though.
Okay, so we've heard the pure thing. Let's hear Swappington.
But that's what I'm saying, and I think all of them it goes back to the same thing with because all of them. What was the Marshall? How does the Marshall start? I met this girl from
I met this foreign girl when I went on a tour. She fell in love with soca
music, and she wanted.
Yeah, actually starts with the chorus though.
Yes, but still.
Who you want on the 40? All or just Swappy? When the Congo drums are flinging back, then she wind down to the floor. She had done bad and she walking up in the air.
My girl jumping up when she rock and away
like she fly away. And she back. Same thing with the Swappy.
So interrupt right now.
Hold on, it's loading. Can I once again?
I told her I heard Irfan wrote that one.
Yeah,
Irfan
write real plenty hits.
Big tunes. Because he writes
many good things.
I'm telling you, he wrote that Precision Wine too, right?
Yeah. All right. Kel part of the Swappington do you want to hear?
Hey, Swappy.
I hope podcast listeners are hearing. We are listening to the 4D Riddim.
I'm gonna give you some. Nothing.
Hold on, wait.
Let me emphasize. Sorry, emphasize.
No, this one is Cartel Swappy, but that's what he is now.
Oh my bad.
It's Cartel Swappy.
This is Cartel.
But I thought this was
Cartel Swappy.
I thought this had a certain level of
nothing.
A little elevation.
This swap, give me that swap. I heard no cuts. I heard no drop in beat.
I think there's clear emphasis on his vocals at this one.
But that's his vocals.
But again, that's part of the mixing though.
No,
Which is what we're arguing.
I disagree. I don't think they did a thing to the song. The music it stands.
I apologize. This is for educational purposes only.
We do not own the rights to any of this music that's played in this podcast.
I do not. Please feel free to check Swappington on his YouTube, IG, and all other platforms.
Amen.
Yeah.
We did have a certain level of class there, no pun intended. A certain level of class there, so I thought that was the introduction to Bridget and Swappy. I apologize for the wrong hashtag too.
Because Babylon and DJ was that same period. But I do think that I don't think that they did anything to the mix. I think that was just Swappy using his vocals purposely. He knows, and that's the thing, like good singers, good vocalists, they know how to do these things. He's singing and he's putting accents on certain places.
That's not how song production works. As someone who's done recordings
I feel like they haven't changed that thing.
But I don't think the rhythm changed. I
think we'll have to agree to disagree unless we get unless we get Swappy and First Class.
Yes, let's get Swappy and First Class on this show. Did you hear me say? I said
because Swappy. So whatever thing in the because even when you listen to Kes and even to Marshall, they don't have the same cadence or flow that Swappy has, but the rhythm has the same dip, same beat, same whatever.
Same rhythm. So if you're talking about the production or the mastering of the song and dealing with his vocals, then of course they're going to have to produce the vocals when they put it on the track. That's fine. I'm not singing the same way and the same levels and the same tone and the same key. We're going to have to do a certain amount of production once you start to add vocals to the track. But he has not changed the actual underlying rhythm. It's the same.
I'm thinking now, when we think back to the same Dougla, the debate really was Dougla Riddim versus 4D Riddim, right? So we think about the same Dougla Riddim. We need to refresh ourselves with the Dougla Riddim. And remember also that was a time where the production values and stuff wasn't what it is now.
Oh, also it had a singing Sandra on the Dougla Riddim. She couldn't be chanted like Bungie and them.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
But I mean, we've spoken for 25 minutes about two rhythms, right?
Because it was so hotly debated. Before we go, I would say the Marshall on the rhythm. Can you?
Because it's my favorite, I think. I can't really pick a favorite, but I think Marshall's is my favorite.
Yeah, I used to be winding on chairs in CNMG to this. And I go front.
Winding on chairs?
In front of the Sharamajan, unashamedly.
Can we
get a reenactment?
Nah, this chair can't rock like the chair without wheels and things. No, I can't do it.
Yeah, we're not gonna hear the music if you're not talking over it.
It's kind of soft anyway, but I could do the best impression of Marshall to this song. Girl, I wanna take you home.
No.
Rocket.
Oh, 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 oh.
We were supposed to be listening for the drops and the dips.
What about this rhythm? Two songs on this rhythm.
What's that?
What about this rhythm? Now, see, let me saying that even if the rhythm had like 4 songs alone, like this 4D rhythm, it's top tier because of the great levels, right?
Yes.
All right. So the thing is, we're not going to say which is the best. We just want to have top tier and.
All right. Okay.
Right? So that's top tier. But what about this rhythm that had like 2 songs? The song with Marshall, the
Electrolytes.
The 3-0 rhythm.
Ooh, 2 massive songs. That's Bottle of Rum and People's Champion.
Yeah.
And the rhythm, now we ain't thinking about the musicality of the rhythms we're talking about yet. We're just talking about how it impacts, right? The musicality of that rhythm with all the
it was good.
Top tier.
That's top tier.
I thought you were going to talk about Electrolytes, which is one of my personal favorites. I don't know if it makes the top tier, but the Marshall and the Castanet for me sell off.
I personally think that maybe Cass's breakthrough in terms of, it had people who had liked Cass before.
What is
then
take him into the stratosphere.
No, he was universally Cass, he bad,
Just mention the songs on the rhythm.
All Caribbean girl, them step to the front. Whatever he says.
Where from? And
just show me where you're from.
And AOA.
Everybody know. And then in the AOA. Because to me, that rhythm came out and I heard AOA first, or whatever however the name of the song go. And whoever Marshall does sing, bless his heart, Soca Jesus. But I heard it. I said, "Good, Marshall, wow!" And then Cass came, and I did not. You when you heard that rhythm, you didn't think anybody could do what Marshall was doing. And then Cass came and gave him a run for his money. I think Cass on that rhythm was even better than Marshall.
And I would agree with you and Peter here. That I Cass break out there, and you saying that Cass was better. I agree with those 2 things. To be honest.
Listen, I remember, I think I said this in the last season too. I was on the road. I heard that song for the first time on the road. It just, people went crazy when they heard it. And I'll never forget seeing a girl. She looked very young, a very young child, a Trini white girl in all her splendor on the road for Carnival, basically doing some Carnival aerobic stint. And I think that's what her body told her to do because it was so hype. It was like techno now. And the girl, she was like,
well, you see, that song, like that rhythm, they came out when soca started going from the traditional soca to more about techno soca, whereas the Belgian went on more dancehall soca, our own went more techno. So I guess that
electronic music,
ushering of a new kind of wave of the soca there. So that rhythm there kind of was probably responsible for that wave.
I'm telling you, that girl vibes. I think that girl vibes infect everybody within like a couple mile radius, because she was doing like a kind of thing and punching the air and looking like she was doing some, I tell you, and it was just amazing, and everybody just was like, whoo! And it just exploded. That song, love that song. That song in my heart. So I don't know if that's a top tier rhythm or not, but I feel like it'd be a little honorable.
I think it's a great rhythm. It's a great rhythm.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, would I immediately say it's one of the top soca rhythms? I'm not sure.
Maybe not.
Because it has so few songs on it.
Few songs. Yeah, for sure.
But then again, by that rationale, then our 3-0 rhythm can be there.
No, but 3-0 knock it out of the park. I'm sorry. I don't know. But
3-0 was like...
But 3-0 just had two.
Yeah, like
that's what the game to this day. Like, what is the bigger song? What's the bigger song on the 3-0 rhythm? And both of them are just huge songs.
Yeah. I can't separate those songs.
Yeah. I liked this one recent fourth quarter rhythm. That was good.
I like the intercolor.
On the rhythm is Kess with Radar. Who else is on that rhythm? Patrice, I think, is on that rhythm again. Yeah. I think once you have her on your rhythm, you're like, you're good to go.
It's hard thing.
Yeah. Kess, Patrice, somebody else is on that rhythm. Is Marshall on that rhythm too?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
We have some recency bias for some of these rhythms though, but okay.
But the thing is, with me, it has an impact bias on me, because like any rhythm that come out around like between 2011 and 2015, they hit different to me. Like that, the newer ones don't really compare to that time, and for me.
No, I think with the newer ones, it's a little more difficult. I would say to strike gold. I think so. Like with the new rhythms, four standout: Old Thing, Fourth Quarter, this one, Pop Skitter, right? That I think that one will stand the test of time. And then it had another one.
What, Folklore, or is that too old? Folklore's too old.
Well, no, Folklore is sort of recent too. So I put Toko Loco. That rhythm you could play.
You all like these rhythms that real kind of sweet wine vibes rhythms. We're not any less, because
I think that's what
hype rhythms.
Because that is what new,
because they still have like the big ride and those other rhythms are kind of hype.
Okay. Fair enough.
But you see, that's what I'm saying. Which is what I'm saying. I think with the new rhythms, most of the good ones are the groovy ones. Because even the do that rhythm is okay. It's not sweet and thing like that, but it's still not pace, right?
Well, then we still have Ruction and Crazy People.
But
that's a rhythm as well.
Right, that was a rhythm too.
It is a rhythm. The songs are good, and the songs were good for the season. But it's not a rhythm that I would say, a rhythm real. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but generally people don't listen to heavy like power soca outside of.
And maybe it's that, but to me, those other rhythms, the ones that I call, especially like Toko Loco, and like those rhythms, to me, just like that's a rhythm you will. I don't know. They stand out to me more than the others, and I think too, what happens with those power soca or faster thing rhythms now is that people don't want nobody on your rhythm because you're trying to get a road march. So stage gone bad, whatever the rhythm. You ain't gonna find a second on that.
Yeah, no other song like a boss song with Marshall. Yeah.
When Marshall come with a road march, with his road march contribution, he ain't want nobody on a rhythm with him. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the people who gravitate towards rhythms are those groovy people because they ain't in no competition. They're not in no. Them in care. But do this for me. Boom.
What about this soca feature them with Spread Your Hands and Lego and I think I had a cat. I don't tell Miguel. It's Whistle and Horn.
That's up there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's up there. That gameplay normal anytime, anyway, any party that gameplay.
Yeah, I like morning after.
Morning after.
Yeah, with the voice.
What are these songs on the rhythm?
That look like trouble in the morning. That and but his song was the runaway hit on it. I will admit, yeah.
Yeah.
I still like it.
But musically, I find it I love it. And
yes, I love that instrumental.
The instrumental. Yeah.
But I trying to think of like power soca rhythms, and it is difficult. You have like Juve rhythms, like those kind of which is still kind of in the groovy niche.
Which Juve songs need a whole episode. Let me just say.
Yeah, definitely. But so you have rhythms for them, and then you have rhythms for like I say the groovy stuff. But I'm trying to think of like power soca rhythms that will. Like in recent times. Go ahead.
That song, I'm just sing Straight Off the Jumbo Jet. That was a rhythm.
Straight Off the Jumbo Jet. Really?
I think that was a rhythm. Yeah.
I'm thinking Nappy and Thunder song was on a rhythm, not so?
Again, I think sometimes what killing the rhythm sometimes is when some songs on the rhythm too big. It is yeah. And
then you do Jumbie Jab rhythm. Although you see the thing is that's the catch-22 because you want a big name and you want a big song on the rhythm because it will take you through and the DJ will mix in some this and that and the other. But then you're saying that it can't overpower. So it's I ain't going to hold back just because all you're slacking.
I ain't going
to hold back. That's the Jumbo Jet Bungie's Jumbo Jet is called Jumbie Jab Riddim.
Right.
But those kind of power rhythms would more come from the Grenada and the jab up the islands kind of.
Talpri is on that.
Yeah.
With Legs is on that Party Bad. Talpri with Dirty.
These songs Showtime was on a rhythm too.
Who's that?
Marshall Showtime was on a rhythm.
Yes, Tribe Rhythm. No,
yes.
Marshall had a song on Tribe Rhythm because remember that year Tribe had a rhythm, and I thought that was going to be his road march, but then again I should have known because he not going to share a rhythm for road march. But his song on the Tribe Rhythm, I felt was I don't think it gets as much airplay as it should have, and that's saying something.
Tribe Rhythm.
Tribe had a rhythm.
Yeah.
Tribe band rhythm. The Marshall on that rhythm. I loved it. I was in love with it. That was my greatest disappointment. Oh Lord.
So you're only watching me.
Yes, like you want me. Yes, I come in to get your pressure. Yes, you're only watching me. Tell me what you want, Miss Lady. Yes. Undervalued, underutilized.
I didn't think that was going to be his road march, but I did. But it was a good song. To me, there's no Marshall road march when you hear it.
Well, right, okay.
Well, actually, that was a year. That was a year of Why can I not
beat it?
No. It was a relatively slow road march.
That was the year of beat it. No, you sure?
That was
every day is feta. I come out of feta. I want to more than you.
That's like a boss here. I know.
I think that's like a boss here.
When I heard like a boss, I instantly knew that like a boss was it.
Yeah.
I instantly knew that was.
I don't actually think Marshall wanted that to be road march either, but it just took off and he had to do with it.
The first time I heard I was in Stump. I think you was in that Stump, Peter.
Yes, I was.
Yeah. I was right there, and as soon as Marshall come out on the stage and them horns had to play, I remember looking behind me and seeing a wave of people.
Yeah, like a boss was 2015. That was the year, right?
Them ones alone did it. The ones alone.
But I remember from the first chords from the I said, "Oh yes, this is it. Forget it."
Because the intro starts so hard, and people were thirsty for.
Can you say that? I fetted more than you, Marshall. Done.
I think
fold it and tuck it away.
I think what also worked well on that song is I think for a long time you weren't getting horns and you weren't getting real horns on tracks. You didn't get them electronic mixed down. You got pure brass. Yeah, you got real live brass in the studio. Throwing your head off,
And you know, one thing Trinidad's love is to horn and get horn. So
Please strike that from the
Sorry.
conversation. I do not support one in culture.
Forget we like. Yeah, well, by the time that
We're getting sidetracked.
Yes, yes.
We're getting sidetracked.
Riddims.
So I just want to, we talk about rhythms. I just want to think back of the first rhythm that I ever really heard, because before I just knew like dancehall was rhythms now.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then the pigtail rhythm came out in '97, and it was the first time I heard Destra Garcia on a track. She had a song with third bass on the track. I thought I tell you that I have a man already, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Alison Hines was on that rhythm, and I was like, wait, soca artists could do this? Y'all could just write a rhythm and
Yes. That's I remember the Alison Hines. I don't remember the are you ready?
are you ready for this?
Yeah.
The pigtail rhythm, you know, got it. And them, you wine to the moon, give the man them pressure.
By podcast listeners.
I'm trying to look for it and
I think
okay, I think I find it. There was a
What's that,
Capleton
Kareem?
on
You
it.
think what?
the other people.
It had a Jamaican,
Yes.
it had a Jamaican on here.
He said Capleton.
Capleton, I just found it.
But yeah. Sigh. I don't know.
Yes.
People on the fireman, on the soca, on the pigtail rhythm. Big up in yourself. Big up on yourself every time.
90s was wild, yo.
Yeah, it's a wild time was that combined with the TTT and TV6 music videos. It's a wild time in soca.
Yeah, well, I just found the pigtail rhythm. I just want to tell you, I want to just submit to the conversation that Chinese Laundry had a song on that rhythm too. Is this the last song he ever put out?
No. I think that was early in his run. I think that might have actually been early Laundry as well, because it was the first Destra I heard for sure. And I think Laundry probably had did colors or something right before that or something.
Just before something. This my YouTube is saying 99 though. No disrespect. He's a good friend.
Yeah.
But I didn't even remember he had us. I seen Onika Bostekan.
Wow, I didn't even Onika Basekan Gilan. What?
Yes.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. This rhythm is blowing me away.
I think the conclusion we could come to is that soca has great rhythms as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that
like everything else, the rhythms have also evolved into.
Yeah, it definitely evolved. And I think the technology and production values have as evolved. We're getting better. At least the instrumentals of the rhythms getting better. And then the person's doing better on them.
Wow.
But then the instruments change, because I mean, we talk about that because I think too, a lot of the newer ones are sort of production and produced and that kind of thing, and what you call that? I don't know. What is the right word for it? Not fake instruments, but whereas before I think they recorded the instruments and then you know that.
Yeah, you went into the studio and you played your instrument.
Being live.
Yeah.
I
mean, the best execution, but you get me.
Yeah. I appreciate the space for the rhythms in soca to get the carnival carried through the carnival, because not everybody could make the one big hit. But I mean, if you have a rhythm that's already good, and you as an artist put a decent song on the rhythm, I think you could produce. Because we need hits for carnival. For carnival, you need the 20 to 10 best songs in the year.
You mean we don't just need the road march?
Yeah, you don't.
Or the soca monarch. We need a catalog of hits. We need music to sustain us.
And the rhythms make it easier to have plenty of that.
Yeah.
Because it's mixable, so it plays well on the radio. It plays well on trucks. You're not suddenly have to play this artist's whole song. Everybody can. And all of those artists get to put out, if they decide to release an LP or something during the year, they get to throw those songs that they were on the rhythms that were hits and they make money from. They get to throw them on those things. So I think that there is a space in soca for rhythms. Just as this.
And so do you think it is advantageous for new artists then, or that is a strategy to use to get on a rhythm?
Not at all. Not at all. Because then you have a direct comparison to a super big artist.
To another, yeah.
Yeah, because there are songs on rhythms that I think people don't even realize are rhythms because it had one big artist on your rhythm.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
one big artist blew like
I don't want to be on that.
right. So like the biggest example I find is the Spanish fly rhythm, which is Patrice A Little Why Never Hurt Nobody. Anybody else know it that have other songs on that rhythm?
But then too, because we spoke about this a bit before, but then too in the post, so it may not be for the season, and we understand how important it is to have a timely hit. But then post season, when you go back to it, because like I say, some of these rhythms is when you're after the season and you're putting it in your playlist or you're putting it in your whatever, and you realize, oh, hey, look at have another song, or again DJs who just splice it in.
You know who suffered in particular about that? GBM. GBM used to be making a lot of these rhythms and be on the rhythm, and nobody used to hear his song on the rhythm.
Yikes.
That's true.
So
yeah,
that's true.
There are downsides.
But he's still holding his own. So
I think there's a space. I think if you use it intelligently, or it could work for you as a new artist. In that, if I were an artist, I might not shy away from contributing to rhythms, but I might make sure it's not my only release, so that if I do get an effects or whatever, I could sing my song on a rhythm that people know and will dance along to and recognize musically, and and they can say, oh, she was on that too, okay, cool.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't make it my only contribution for the season.
Exactly. Yeah.
After I finish dusting off, put the final bells and whistles on my tune, I will then find one or two, see if I can afford it, and try to do something. Yeah,
Because
just to keep relevant.
I wouldn't recommend anybody to have just one song for the season. I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. So same way, I wouldn't recommend that they
everybody's Iowa George. I think only Iowa George gets away with having one song for a season.
Iowa George gets away with a lot.
But did he? This season.
Well, this year's an outlier, but usually Iowa just drops one song for the season.
Iowa gets away with a lot in this country.
Or is it that he's have one runaway, like one?
It's usually be one song.
It's usually be one song.
One song.
And then he's fall back in his catalog.
I want to start Boxing Day and go into every party, every line, and pump in one song. So by the time Carnival come into full swing, he need a next song because he been pumping his biggest song whole season.
And then he have back catalog. So
yeah, and that's it.
Thank you.
Water, and he good.
Well, I guess this is where
and
we can.
If you count collaborations, right, that's like one or two verses. So in all, if you count them together, is one song still.
All right.
I ain't going. That is not me.
I want to today, so I think I get there.
Exactly.
I'm an Iowa fan, by the way. So, much love to the boss, sir.
You're just calling it like you see it, and that's what we're here for. So, I mean, we've wrapped up Riddims, and we will see you in the next one.